Day of 2026. And I don't know if I say that with hope or sarcasm. We'll see. Okay, we are doing a new design for living because it is the new year, and I thought it was appropriate. Although we are already in chapter 2, so, we've been at this for a minute. I think I started it on Christmas, or right around Christmas. Which is neither here nor there. All right, let's do the housekeeping, and then we'll get on with the new design for living. So, and all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. You get 1 email a week unless something unusual happens. I will point out we do live on the Gulf Coast. It's usually weather related. So it doesn't happen that often. It's a real person doing it. He just doesn't have time for more than that. I think I said it tells you what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot, so if it says click here now, it means it. It'll take you right to the information or the person that can help you get it. And it's a blind CC, which means nobody will get your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. I've just got that one wicked girl. Okay. This is proof that my hair does what it wants. I have no control over it. Okay. And I'll mention the social media briefly, just from the standpoint of we do not monetize it. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to go like, subscribe, follow, based on which platform you're on, the pages. If you allow notifications, then it'll let you know when we either go live or upload new videos. And then it will, hang on, and then engage with the individual posts. So react to the post, comment on the post, share the post. It bumps us in the algorithms. We think we have good tools to share. We hope you agree. So it is a free and easy way that you can support the center. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark. And I am the running Rev Ryan across all of the social medias that I am on. So there is that. Okay. So A New Design for Living was written towards the end of Ernest's life, and it is a process. That is exactly what it is. He is helping you figure out how all of this kind of works and how you can make the best use of what it is that we've got going on. So we are in chapter 2, Adventures in Thinking, excuse me. And so I think we're going to go ahead and do both of them because this will finish the chapter. We're going to do you know what you're doing? And then the other one is called Reliable Laws. So, do you know what you're doing? In coming to a realization that we may consciously better ourselves through right thinking, we must at the same time know that the reason for our being able to do so is the fact that we are using a power greater than we are. It is only through our understanding of its nature that we are able to use it in a definite and right manner for specific purposes. The desired result will not be brought about in a minute, although theoretically it should be possible. Rather, we seem to have to build up or change our thought patterns gradually. Okay, so right there, he's telling you, yeah, you can do this in an instant. You can do this in an instant. But for most of us, it takes time. It's a process, which is one of Jesse's favorite words right now. We achieve a little here and then a little there until finally the main body of our thought is affirmative and constructive. Until the time a person becomes aware of the creative nature of their thought, they have been creating their destiny without knowing it, not even suspecting that such a process has been taking place. The tragedy and unhappiness brought on by the unknowing and unconscious misdirection of this creative process of thought is appalling as we look about us or even examine our own lives. Henry Van Dyke wrote, "We should build our future thought by thought, for good or ill, yet know it not." But now we seek to change all this. We endeavor consciously, definitely, and deliberately to determine what we will experience through the conscious decision to place in our minds only those thoughts which we desire to have reproduced in our experience. Yeah, conscious decision. We gotta choose the thoughts we want to think. Again and again, we need to remind ourselves, first, of the nature, extent, and power of this invisible principle we are using, and next, the simplicity of using it. Okay, so that jumps right into the last section of this chapter, which is reliable law. We need never explain why thought is creative, or what life is, or why law exists. No one can ever do this. But we can discover for ourselves and demonstrate in our own lives that there is a principle of mind, that it does work, that we can use it, and that it will never fail us. The fact that it never fails us is both to our advantage and disadvantage. It always works. Not just occasionally, not sometimes, but all the time. The fact that our thought is creative at all means that it is creative all of the time, and that creative action is governed by law, which never ceases to be. Regardless of where a person might be, the color of their skin, the clothes they wear, the religious customs they observe, as long as they think, as long as there is a process of thought in their mind, then that thought does have a creativity inherent in it. This creativity is mandatory. We have no choice as to whether our thought will be creative or not. It just is. But we do have a choice as to the content of our thought, which is the causative creative factor in our experience. Okay, he's being a little bit strident here. Every thought has the potential to be creative. Not every thought is creative. But any thought that you dwell on, that is going to be creative. And that is where we have to be careful. If we spend all of our time thinking deconstructive thoughts, negative thoughts, then that's what's going to show up in our life. So that's, every thought has the potential to be creative. Watch the ones you dwell on. Watch the ones that you spend your emotional power on, because that is what is going to be creative in your life. And that is super important to remember. Every thought has the potential to be creative. Okay. So watch where you dwell. We find that we must of necessity choose very carefully every element of our new design for living. We have to be sure that the broad general idea of the new structure of experience we desire to build is sound and desirable. Then, as we select specific ideas to be used in filling in the details of the basic concept, we must be alert that no element creeps in that could ever endanger the project. That there is no drop of ink to discolor the glass of water. Simple, easy to do, but it necessitates vigilance. Okay, and then he ends with probably what is probably going to be a treatment. So give me just a second while I just want to reemphasize, in here he's saying that every thought is creative. We do want to guard our thoughts, okay? But we don't want to freak out over every individual thought. Every one of us is going to have a negative thought every now and again. So what we have to do is not freak out when that negative thought floats by. What we need to do is exactly that. Watch it float by. Don't grab it. Don't dwell on it. Let it go. Okay? Just ride that wave. Just ride that wave. What we want to do is make sure that any thought that we are dwelling on is what we actually want. Okay? So, hold on to the ideas that are constructive and positive and what you want in your life. And anything that is unlike that, just let it wash away into the nothingness that it came from. Okay? So let's finish this up and then we will move on. Okay. He always ends the chapter with, or so far he's ended this chapter with, it's in italics. So it's been kind of either poetry or treatment. Thought can be creative of our good, and it can also be productive of things we do not desire, for all thought is creative. Whether our thought patterns be for our benefit or detriment makes no difference to the law of mind. Its law acts impersonally. Any problem or difficulty must lie within our use of our mind, in our misdirected thinking, not in the action of the law, nor in the nature of mind God, which can only be good. So, sum up, right? But again, I'm just going to go back and reemphasize two things. Three things. It takes time. It does take time to rewire your brain, but it is definitely worth doing. So, don't beat yourself up if it doesn't happen instantly. Where your attention goes is where your power goes, because the law is impersonal. So whatever it is that you dwell on, that's what's going to show up in your life. So you want to be aware of the trend of your thoughts. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to do, I learned a new phrase today, and I really like it. Don't beat yourself up. It doesn't make you stronger. It just leaves you bruised. Okay. Guy wrote a book. His name's Adam Grant. But I was like, oh, okay. So in that thing, he said, look, the problem is in our own mind. Yes, it is. But we are also caught up in systems of the collective mind. And I'm not talking about the mind of God. I am talking about the human race consciousness. We are caught up in that nonsense. We are caught up in systems that do not work. Because we, as a people, have either participated in creating these systems or not participated in creating these. So don't beat yourself up if you are doing your work, but you are caught up in systems. You are in relationship with other people. So just remember that. Change your mind, change your thinking, change your life. Absolutely. But in doing this work, we are also called to work on the systems that have been created that don't work for everybody. Okay? So I just want to put that out there, because if your life's messy, it ain't all your fault. Okay? So you work on what you can work on, and then you get together with other people to work on the parts that you don't have direct control over, such as the systems. And you know what I mean. All right, beloveds. So now I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. Hey, it is the first Monday of 2026. Let's kick this off right or left, whichever direction you want to go, but you know what I mean. Let's step this off into the best direction that we possibly can. So drink plenty of water day. Make sure you take a minute to sit down day. Give yourself a break day. A take care of business day. A cuddle your fur babies day. Make sure you make time to laugh day. Tell somebody a silly joke day. You got this day. We are all in this together day. It's going to be okay day. Tell somebody you love them day. Do what you got to do day. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, I get it, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light and a divine spark, a beautiful masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call it, you are a godling. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move on into the process of my day. So I'm going to remind you, Reverend David